I'd also love to see Piers Morgan knock Hugh Grant out, actually, especially after his sanctimonious interview with the British bashing corporation about the Prince Harry court case. Breaking right now, Hugh Grant taking on Piers Morgan over Prince Harry. And could this celebrity showdown end up in a boxing ring with the Duke of Delusion watching on? Well, certainly that's the dream of Mr. Morgan. But let me take you through this. So you'll remember that last week, Prince Harry, the Pussy Prince, as I call him, bottled facing me in court. We were going to be there on Thursday. I was going to be giving him some home truths. Instead, he approached Rupert Murdoch's Sun newspaper and said, okay, I'll take the 10 million. I'll take the 20 million. Let's just move on. This was celebrated by Hugh Grant, the Hollywood actor who has long been campaigning against the British newspapers and Rupert Murdoch in specific. So Piers Morgan posted on X, reminder, Hugh Grant took many millions of pounds from Rupert Murdoch to make movies for him. Hypocrite. Hugh replied, bullshit. The last time I worked for a Murdoch-owned company was in 1994, which was long before I knew anything about his paper's methods. Since then, I have turned down every single job offer emanating from a Murdoch-owned company. But Piers wasn't done there. He wrote, update, your movie Florence Foster Jenkins was distributed by Murdoch-owned at the time 20th Century Fox in the UK. Hashtag hypocrite and liar. Hugh replied, that film was made for the BBC and Pathé. My contract was with them. I have no control over which local distributor is subsequently used in various countries. Fox was just local distributor for the UK. Keep up, Piers. Piers was enjoying this, though. He then posted the fishing emoji, saying, this is the type of reaction I wanted from Mr. Grant, and said, everyone wants us to have a fight to settle this. I'm up for it. If you're man enough. And goodness me, I'd love to see a fight between those two.
Hugh Grant, the Hollywood actor turned self-righteous activist, has once again inserted himself into the fight against the British press, this time defending Prince Harry. Yes, the same Prince Harry who has spent the last few years attacking his own family, playing the victim, and suing anyone who dares to criticize him. But here's the kicker. Hugh Grant and Prince Harry are trying to take down Piers Morgan, one of the few media voices bold enough to stand up to their nonsense. Dan Wootton exposes the hypocrisy of these two elites. One an actor, the other a royal. Both of whom have built their entire public careers on media attention but now want to silence the press when it no longer serves them. And Piers? Well, Piers is doing what Piers does best. Calling them out, exposing their lies, and even challenging Hugh Grant to a boxing match. Folks, this isn't just a celebrity feud. This is a battle for free speech. Alright, let's start with the most obvious problem here. Prince Harry's relentless crusade against the media. Dan Wootton lays out how Harry just accepted a massive settlement from Rupert Murdoch's newspapers, rather than facing Piers Morgan and other journalists in court. Why is this significant? Because Harry has spent years pretending to be the great defender of truth and justice. Let's rewind for a second. This is the same Prince Harry who ran to Oprah Winfrey to trash his own family. The same Prince Harry who sat down with Netflix for a $100 million tell-all documentary to smear the royal family. The same Prince Harry who wrote an entire book, Spare, where he accused the British press of being cruel and out to get him. But when it came time to actually defend his claims in court, he took the money and ran. This is what elitists do. They scream about injustice, they launch lawsuits to intimidate their critics, and when the fight gets too real, they cash out. This is the same tactic we see from radical leftists in America. They don't want open debate, they don't want accountability, they just want to control the narrative.
I'd also love to see Piers Morgan knock Hugh Grant out, actually, especially after his sanctimonious interview with the British bashing corporation about the Prince Harry court case. Watch. Brittany from the Royal News Network back with me now. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know who annoys me more, Hugh Grant or Prince Harry. I don't agree with Piers Morgan on everything, but certainly on Harry's case, he's completely right. I mean, he wrote about the settlement, Brittany. So moral crusader Prince Harry took the cash Will he now be issuing a full and unequivocal apology to the royal family for his own serious intrusion into their lives for personal financial gain? Or is it royal intrusion absolutely fine when he does it? What a hypocrite. So I actually totally agree with him. I'd love to see the fight with Hugh Grant. But where do you stand on all of this?
I mean, it was just so clear, at least to me, that Harry just was like, I don't know if a light bulb went off. I don't know if the horror of the last month has really gotten to him, but to settle after he claimed and went on and on and on, just even last month about how he was going to get justice for all the victims and only he could do this. And then to have him cave at the last minute, I was like, really? Because he just wrecked his entire argument. Like, anytime now he comes in and complains about the press, I'm gonna be like, well, you settled and you said claimed that you wanted to see this through, and then you took the easy way out. After obviously he had been offered settlements multiple times. And so it's just completely ridiculous. But it's funny too to hear the Hugh Grant side as well, because I think the person from the Labor government is actually correct. This is an inquiry that really has nothing to do with the current news environment. It's totally changed with the advent of social media. So I think almost the Leveson inquiry, I don't even know how helpful it would be to the media, because at this point, all those practices that they utilized in the past that may be borderline on illegal or what have you, I can't say for sure, but none of that is really applicable anymore because nobody can really do those things in the same way. Like you can't, nobody has a landline. Like that's just so old school. So I think in many ways, it's like this is totally past what anybody cares about. I think people have so many more things of interest that they would like the police and court systems to pursue than this case that really seems to be just driven by a spoiled brat of a prince, I would say, and a Hollywood type. I think everybody else is like, we don't care anymore.
Totally. I mean, look at what's going on in the world. Look at what's going on in the United Kingdom. This should absolutely not be a priority for the police. I would actually argue Hugh Grant and Prince Harry and Gordon Brown and all of these privileged members of the establishment are wasting the police time. There was investigation after investigation into this. And it's almost like Harry and Hugh won't stop until Piers Morgan is in jail. That is what they want. They've admitted that both privately and publicly. It's not going to happen. They should move on. They both live very privileged lives. And actually, Brittany, if they really cared, they had an opportunity to take this to court. But in the end, they proved they were all about the money. They were prepared to take the money. So spare me the moral lecture, Prince Harry and Hugh Grant. It is just so annoying. But I actually think one of the other reasons that Harry may have settled this case, Brittany, is because he's increasingly under pressure when it comes to the likelihood that he lied about his illegal drug taking on his immigration papers before entering the United States. And there is firm pressure now building on Donald Trump, the new president, who is, of course, being very firm and very strong about deportations for lots of other foreign criminals. So there is growing pressure on him not to give special treatment to Prince Harry. Meghan McCain, who hasn't been a big Trump supporter, she actually posted on X about this. If Trump deports Prince Harry, they will put him on Mount Rushmore, as in do it, do it, do it. And Niall Gunn, an absolutely brilliant man, you'll know him, he's been on here before, from the Heritage Foundation, who is keeping the pressure up, posted President Trump's mass deportation program should include foreign users of illegal drugs. Brittany, Harry is going to be concerned about this, isn't he? Because Trump is showing in the White House 2.0 that he means business. He ain't suffering no fools this time around.
Now let's talk about Hugh Grant, Hollywood's favorite anti-press crusader. Hugh Grant has spent years attacking the British media, pretending to be some kind of warrior against media corruption. But Dan Wooten brings up a critical point. While Hugh Grant publicly attacks the press, he had no problem taking millions from Rupert Murdoch's companies in the past. That's right, folks. Hugh Grant is attacking Rupert Murdoch, yet he worked with Murdoch-owned studios and had his films distributed by them. The moment Murdoch's media empire no longer served him, he turned on them. This is classic Hollywood hypocrisy. They love the media when it promotes their movies, their activism, and their progressive nonsense. They hate the media when it dares to expose their lies or hold them accountable. And now Hugh Grant and Prince Harry are working together. trying to use the courts to punish the press for reporting on their nonsense.
No, he's definitely not. We even saw this weekend, actually, there was a plane taking some illegal immigrants back to Colombia. The Colombian government rescinded their allowance for the plane to land. And then Donald Trump announced, oh, okay, we're going to tariff this, visa that. And within an hour, the plane was back on the way. So I think there's a new sheriff in town. And I think Harry and Meghan's sort of deluded thinking that somehow their American royalty is going to die at some point, because they've truly made themselves a nuisance. We all find them essentially annoying, and Harry was the one who wrote the book. Nobody told him to reveal all the like things that he did in his book, and he put that out on paper. And if he did lie about it, it'll be fascinating to see if it is. Then things should be revealed, especially if he has something like a diplomatic visa. Like, we deserve to know if he's just here to make money. Is he here with the correct visa, or did he get some sort of special deal visa for from the other administration that he should not technically have? And so what is his status here? I think we all deserve to know. I'm not super into the idea of deporting him. I feel like that's a little harsh, but I think he shouldn't be able to like hide himself behind something. It's like we deserve to know he's not only being here as a prince, but he's trying to act like he's a prince of America. And I think that needs to end, and that message needs to be sent to Harry and Meghan loud and clear. You are private citizens. Do private citizen things. Stop trying to do this cosplay royal routine. We all find it annoying, and just do whatever your professional business is, just do it and go home and leave the rest of us alone.
Let me be clear. No one is saying the media is perfect. No one is saying journalists shouldn't be questioned. But when Hollywood actors and woke royals start deciding what the press can and can't report, we have a serious problem. Now this is where things get fun, because Piers Morgan is not backing down. Dan Wooten covers Piers Morgan's response, where he not only exposes Hugh Grant's lies, but actually challenges him to a fight. I love this. This is exactly the kind of no-nonsense attitude we need from conservative voices. For too long, the media landscape has been dominated by spineless, corporate-backed journalists who apologize for everything. And the reason people like Harry and Hugh Grant hate Piers Morgan is because he's not afraid to call them out. When Meghan Markle played the victim on Oprah, Piers Morgan called her a liar. When Prince Harry trashed his family in Spare, Piers called him a sellout. When Hugh Grant started his anti-media crusade, Piers exposed his hypocrisy. This is why free speech matters. Because if people like Hugh Grant and Prince Harry had their way, people like Piers Morgan wouldn't be allowed to speak at all.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I sort of feel like Brittany, and this is so ironic, the thing that will end up keeping Harry in America is Charles and William. We know Trump has so much respect for the British royal family, and he will not want to cause any issues for the king, especially given his sympathy for the king, given he's suffering from this very bad cancer. And he's so conscious of the fact that William is currently managing the fact that his own wife has just got over cancer too.
Right. So I think it's pretty remote that anything large would happen, but I think his visa status will probably be revealed at some point. I think we probably deserve to know what the status of that is.
But then how can he
And
stay at that point?
yeah,
Though?
I mean, that's true. That's true. So I don't know exactly where Donald Trump has bigger fish to fry than Prince Harry, but I would suggest to Harry and Meghan, keep quiet. Just do whatever the Hollywood entertainment thing that you guys are attempting to do and fail at. Just keep trying that. Maybe it'll work at some point. But if they're going to, and they've said they plan to do like foreign royal tours or whatever their cosplay royal routine is, I don't think that'll sit well with this current administration. I don't think they'll like it at all. I think they'll share things and make it very difficult for them, because they're like, you can't do this. You can't do this. You're private citizens. Stop with this whole routine. And if he leaves the country, he may have troubles getting back. I'm not sure, but I think that definitely did factor into this case. It'll be interesting to see how things go with the Invictus Games, but obviously it's a bit easier to cross into a place like Canada or something. But it'll be fascinating to see where this goes. But I think there's going to be a lot of pressure and interest. And so I think best for Harry to lie low. That would be my suggestion to him.
So what's the takeaway here? Prince Harry is a fraud. He preaches about justice but runs when it's time to fight in court. Hugh Grant is a hypocrite. He attacks the media while benefiting from it. Piers Morgan is standing up against their nonsense, and we need more people like him. This is bigger than a celebrity feud. This is about free speech, media control, and the elite's desperate attempt to silence their critics. And let me tell you, if we don't fight back, they will win. Who do you think is the biggest hypocrite? Harry or Hugh Grant? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.